this one.
Alright, rock, paper, scissors. Loser has to do the intro. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Son of a! What is up, everybody? This is Will Zabo, and thank you for joining us on episode 5?
This is 6.
6!
Oh,
Time is flying.
I know.
6 of the enthusiasts. I'm one of your hosts, Will Zabo. Alongside me, Jesse Nazario.
No, go ahead. No, I feel like it was something good. Go
I was
ahead.
going to say the man who's never disappointed.
That's not true. Oh, that's way not true. But hey, man, how you doing?
Pretty good. How about you?
It's good.
How was
Snowed
your-
this week.
Yeah,
That sucked.
a lot.
Yeah.
The roads are pretty bad.
Yes,
I still had to go to work.
I still have a shovel. I don't like shoveling snow.
Yeah, I can
No,
imagine.
it's cool. I got my snow boots, which I still haven't taken off.
Yeah, I just walk around in these.
Yeah, chancletas. There it is. Alright, so anything new? What's the news? What's going on?
None.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, this is
There
awkward.
is no news. This is a short episode. Might not be short, but it's a short with news episode. So I think really this is going to be spinning off with some. We have our first reader mail.
We do.
We'll get to that later.
We do have that.
But
I think the only news out there is Ben Affleck, something going on with the script.
I remember reading that he said he does not want to put on the Batman costume again unless the script is good for him.
Mwah, delicious, yes. Okay.
Completely agree with that, and I'm okay with that.
So,
I trust Ben Affleck. He's not only a fantastic director, but he's a great actor. And if
you got a
he's,
little brown on your nose there, buddy.
I know.
I don't think Ben Affleck listens to this. You
I
don't
go
have to-
deep.
You don't have to do it, buddy. You don't have to.
He might one day.
Play anything good this week?
I've been playing Titanfall 2. Still knocking away at Final Fantasy 15, slowly but surely. And I played the demo for Nier Automaton, I believe the name is, or Ultimatum, something like that. It's Japanese.
Oh.
But that's interesting me as well.
You know who likes Japanese? Michael Bay, because he's super racist. There it is. I'm sorry. I just had to point that out.
Guess
My
we
apologies.
went there already, huh?
That's where we're going.
What about you? What have you been playing?
Well, last weekend I had 3 days off for once. Yes. So I was like, I'm determined to finish 2 games this
Okay.
weekend. So I finished Titanfall 2,
Okay.
which incredible by the way. And then I started playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I finished that, which was a pretty long game actually, because I started on Sunday night and finished about the end of Monday morning. Or excuse me, the end of Monday night. That would have been a short game. And finished the end of Monday nights, like close to 11 o'clock. So it's a pretty decent long game because I was playing it all day.
Huh.
So, play either of them? Yes, you did.
I did.
Titanfall.
I
You like
know.
Titanfall.
I do like Titanfall a lot.
How about the first game?
The first game was good. The multiplayer was okay, but there was no campaign, so there was no world building really. But it wasn't anything amazing. I played the first one on PC. I didn't have an Xbox One. And you're playing the second one. I'm assuming you haven't played the first one.
Yes, I don't have an Xbox One. I think it's all it came out on, wasn't it?
Xbox One and PC.
Yeah.
but
So,
yeah.
I did not play the first one. I don't do online only or multiplayer only.
You're strictly a campaign guy.
Yes. I don't.
With the occasional co-op, maybe.
Yes. I, however, was not excited about this at all until I caught one of those forced YouTube trailers that they make you watch before a video.
Yeah. The ads.
The ads that people make money off of. My apologies. Don't want to insult anybody, but actually, one of those ads sold it to me. I saw the ad for it before a video I was watching. And I was like, "What game is this? This looks delicious." And then at the end, it was like Titanfall 2, and I was like, "What? I need to get this." So I picked it up, or I got it for Christmas actually, and I've really enjoyed it. From beginning to end, I think it was a solid game.
Yeah, so far I'm really enjoying the campaign. I love how you just fall in love with the robot.
Yeah.
BT-74 something.
He's a robot.
But he's awesome. And
He is.
I love the jokes he makes. There's a part of the game I just got to, and he makes jokes about like a dead body.
Yes.
I thought that was hilarious.
I think it's the chemistry between the two characters really good. Like I said, just very surprised because Titanfall wasn't enjoyed. Didn't get that great of reviews.
Yeah, the first Titanfall, a lot of people complained that it didn't have a campaign. I'm a part of the group where I feel a game doesn't need a campaign, but I feel like if you don't have a campaign, then you better have a really good multiplayer. Like that game better make a 9 or 10 out of just having a
You
multiplayer.
don't have to say Overwatch. Keep it in. Keep it in. You'll say it. I can see what you're saying. I'm just saying I'm impressed that it feels like Titanfall 2 like listens to what the people complained about and was like, let me make a better game. And the sequel was well received, which means it did a good job.
It was well received, but the problem is the sales aren't there. So apparently, right now, it's actually on the brink of maybe not getting a sequel. We may not get a Titanfall 3.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Maybe we'll do a Kickstarter. That's what they want to do. Kickstart everything.
That's how a lot of things happen now.
Yeah, I still very much enjoyed. To the 4 people that listen to this, maybe 5, pick up Titanfall 2.
If your wife listens, we get 6 this week.
Yes, it is a great game. A solid game, man. Just
100%. Definitely think it's worth picking up.
I'd say it was that because it's about a good 6 hours, 7. I think you said you're getting all the extras in it, so you'll probably get a good 10 hours out of it.
Yeah, I'm working on making sure I get all the collectibles when I play. I don't leave a level until I make sure that there's... Because every time you pause it, it shows you how many of the collectibles you have.
I played the game, yeah.
So I just make sure.
Super awkward that you're describing the game that I finished.
Yeah, maybe people that are listening don't know that.
Oh.
So they're like, how do you know if you got them all? Will?
They all knew it, man. They all do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, well, sorry.
Listen, every one of them has played Titanfall 2. That's...
And we just wasted time telling them
Yep.
to go pick it up.
How amazing is it? I'm telling them to pick up their second copy, okay?
We need a part 3 to be funded somehow, right?
Let's pick up a second copy. But yeah, good game. You played Rise of Tomb Raider.
I did. Now, my problem with Rise of the Tomb Raider was Xbox got it first. I didn't play it until the PlayStation got it. And I will say that it definitely fell short for me. After playing games like Uncharted 4, which was absolutely amazing. And then I really kind of felt like the first Tomb Raider just was better. And I know you feel the same way.
It's not that I feel like the first one was better. Yeah, I do feel like the first one was better. I feel like this one was the first one reskinned. Because it brought so many of the elements from the first one. Like, you finished it?
I did.
Yes.
I completely
The ending of the game was almost identical to the ending of the first game. Like, I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't played it, but it just felt like it was rescheduled. Like, you liked the last one on an island. Check it out in the snow. All right.
I agree. A lot of it.
Not a bad game.
No, not a bad game, but in comparison to what's already out there, there's better options for this that will knock the same thing out.
Yes. I understand this is a soft reboot versus a hard reboot. But it's hard tying it in with some of the original games. I love some of the first Tomb Raider, one of my favorite games. I would have loved a little throwback in this somehow. Maybe introduce a character that was in that game, you know what I mean? Or at the end, she gets the map to the first tomb in the first Tomb Raider game. Something like that I would have really enjoyed. And, I feel like this is just such a separate departure from the original franchise.
I agree, and I definitely think they've hit a couple of things like making me really care about Laura. They've done a good job of emotionally making me care about her. Although I swear she is the clumsiest person I've ever seen in the world because she falls every 5 seconds.
First Tomb Raider came out in '96.
Yes.
I think any boy that was hitting puberty cared about Laura.
But for different reasons.
You know what I mean?
I do not. The new Laura, it's not like I sit there and go, "Ooh, I want a piece of that."
Yeah. She still stole everybody's hearts.
I agree. She's one of the few female.
Green top, you know what I'm saying?
I thought it was blue.
It was green.
No, it was a light blue.
Yeah, it was definitely green.
I agree to disagree.
I agree that you're wrong.
No,
green top.
Absolutely not.
Green top, first game, she had them triangle boobs because all they could do was, those rough shapes. It was a green top. As a matter of fact, I don't think she got a blue top until 3. Yeah, I'm going to say that's for sure.
Okay.
All right.
First off, it's like turquoise.
No, it's green.
No, this is the color.
Yeah, that's green.
That is not green. That is like a baby blue turquoise at best.
Whatever you need to say to sleep at night, buddy.
All right, whatever. We're done this.
We're done this discussion. So maybe this will get the mail going. It's green. It's turquoise blue. Move on.
Well, you know what? People, comment below. You let us know what you think that shirt color was.
Whether I'm right, which I am, or this guy is. So, yeah. Moving on to something important because I'm right. You're wrong. So we got some mail.
We did. We got our first reader mail. This comes from a Michael Kenny. Well, I know. Who asked us to read
I
his
used to
topic.
work for a Michael Kenny.
Really?
Yes.
Where at?
Probably shouldn't say his name. You know what I mean? Because that wouldn't be very nice. So let's stop talking about it.
Good point. But he asked, what were some disappointing games to come out that we were actually really excited for, and then when they came out, we were disappointed, and then who would we rather make the game instead that we think would be a better fit for the game, company-wise or developer-wise?
Good question, Mike. If you were here, I'd give you a high five.
Yeah, that is a really good one.
But you're not. So
And it's a
instead, I'm
mouthful.
giving Will a high five. Woo! Woo!
I deserved it.
Yes,
I
you
read
did.
that question. But,
I'm sweating. I don't know about you.
a little
We also
bit.
just ate. So. What do you got? What's first on your list?
First for me is probably definitely Remember Me. And for those of you that don't remember, it was a Capcom game. See what I did there?
Remember. All right.
Most people won't remember this game.
No.
It was that bad. But Capcom came out. It was originally supposed to be a PS3 exclusive. And Sony dropped it as an exclusive.
Yellow and black font, right?
Yes.
Yes, I do remember. Futuristic?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Game was let down.
whenever I saw trailers for it or anything like that, I was like, wow, this actually looks pretty interesting. And God, did that game just fall short. I got it for free on PSN eventually, and I still could not finish it.
Wow.
I never finished that game because I just couldn't get through it. It was that bad. I really wanted it to be good, and as to who I think could really do a good job, I think if you give it to Rockstar, maybe make that game more open world. And I think Rockstar really knows how to have fun with games too, because part of the problem for me with Remember Me, it just wasn't fun. I would try to make the character do certain things, and it just felt like she would not do it. Like the technical limitations of the game were really bothering me. But that's one for me, and it was supposed to be a PS3 exclusive, and if, in my opinion, if Sony doesn't want your game as an exclusive, that's saying something. Like, apparently halfway through development, Sony was like, you know what, never mind, you can
No,
multi-platform.
thank you, sir.
You keep it.
My bad. We're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they close the door slowly. My first on the list, which was a really big letdown. I was actually working at the GameStop when this came out, and I remember talking it up to so many customers. Spider-Man 3, the movie game.
Spider-Man 2 was so good.
That's why it was a letdown. Spider-Man 2 was so good. It's like stupid good.
I agree.
Like, I remember playing that game right before the movie came out and being like, wow, if this game is this good, how great is this movie going to be? By the way, the movie was pretty great. Still the best Spider-Man movie in my opinion. That's neither here nor there. But yeah, that game was great. That's why 3 was such a letdown.
Yeah, 3 just didn't feel right.
No, overcomplicated. Didn't make you feel for any of the characters.
It
pulled
felt
you-
almost as rushed as the movie.
Yes. Pulled you in like 45 different directions and there was no heart. No heart in it, you know? As Mickey would say to Rocky, you ain't got no heart anymore, kid. It was gone. And that was my biggest problem. So if I wanted a developer to take over for it, I'd go back to Spider-Man 1 and 2 for the PlayStation. I'd want Neversoft to come back and do it with Activision. Because if those two games had anything, it was humor and heart. You know what I mean? And me not being that big of a Spider-Man fan, and I'm sorry, I'm not that big of a Spider-Man fan. I enjoy the character, just not a big fan. Those games really made me feel for him and really enjoy him as a character. And I feel like that they would have made that game, would have had the right amount of oomph to it. If no one knows what oomph is, well then you ain't been with the right kind of woman. You know what I'm saying? Fine, there it is.
It's 2 in one show.
I know.
Let's keep it going.
What
I
do you
like
got?
this train. I definitely want to pick Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Even
Not
you
disappointing.
said- Whew!
It was disappointing.
And you know what really sucks? It was the first Banjo since Microsoft bought Rare. And, you know, people were like, okay, well, let's see what they do with this. And it's like when they bought Rare, they were like, hey, Rare, everything we love about your games, we don't want them in any
Yeah,
of
you
your
don't do
games.
this, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you took everything that people loved about Banjo-Kazooie and was like, take it out. we don't want to end this next one.
No.
And it just felt so bad. Like, how do you make such a bad game, in my opinion?
Which is weird, because if you would have just kept the formula, because
100%.
both of them, they're not that different of games, and both of them were still super fun. So why?
I agree. And who, you know who I really would like to see have done it? Maybe, I think I would have loved to see like Nintendo buy Rare instead, because I think Rare obviously knew what Banjo took to be good. I think Microsoft just pushed them in the wrong direction of saying, hey,
Like,
this
some
is
old executive was like this big cigar.
who he probably thought like platformers are dead.
Yeah,
Do
he's-
this instead.
Sitting with a bunch of yes men kissing his ass, and he was like, hey, you know what they want? Nuts and bolts. That's what they want.
But I really feel like if Nintendo would have bought
I
Banjo,
don't know why Al Pacino owns Microsoft, apparently.
I don't know. To me, it kind of makes sense.
That's what they want, you know? Nuts and bolts. That's it.
They wanted a TV in the sports. That's what they did for the Xbox One too at first.
That's what the TV. That's what.
But I think if Nintendo would have brought Rare instead, I think Rare could have definitely made a great game, and they proved that they still could have.
Yeah.
So everyone that was in Rare left to go do Ukulele, which is looking like a
It does
Banjo
look
Kazooie
really
game.
fun though, doesn't it? Ukulele and really pretty. I'm really
Yeah.
excited. I don't really like your Kickstarters, but that one I'm actually excited for. So I'll let you guys spend your money and I'll take advantage of it. So ain't gonna burn me again. You know what I'm saying? I put the ointment on and I'm good this time. I'm talking about you, Mighty Number 9. Never forget.
Keiji Inafune, Robin.
All right. Next on my list, and I might get a couple shock faces for this, Batman Arkham Knight.
Ooh.
Or as I call it, the Batmobile, the game.
You know what? I can definitely agree with that. I want to hear your points first, and then maybe I'll chime in on this one.
To me, and this is why it was such a letdown, was Arkham Asylum, solid game. Blew everybody's expectations away. Wow, this is what a good Batman game is.
100%.
So when Arkham City came out, people were like, there's no way you can top that. And they were like, you know what? We just did. Bam! And your face melted.
I agree.
All right. So then Arkham Origins came out, and you were like, you know what? Not as great, but I'm going to forgive it because it's not made by the same developers. Still a fun game, though.
I agree.
Still a well-done game. And then I feel like they forgot what made all those games special, and they made Arkham Knight. And they made it about the gadgets, made it about the Batmobile, and they took away the being the Batman. That made those games special. You know what I mean? Let me make my decision on how I want to take an enemy out. If I want to do the Batmobile, if I want to go, hide under rappers, or if I want to go, fist ablazing. Let me make that decision because I am the Batman.
I definitely agree. Before you say with who you would rather do it, I'm definitely gonna chime in on how I feel about it. I definitely think out of the Batman Arkham series, Batman Arkham Knight is the weakest, even compared to Origins.
I agree.
Definitely think it's a good Batman game still, but just not good in comparison to the others. City, in my opinion, is still the peak, the pinnacle of the Arkham series. And I think you're right. I don't think Rocksteady understood maybe they just didn't want to do Batman anymore because, let's be honest, they've said for a while now that they just kind of didn't want to do the Arkham series. They may have been contracted to do a certain number, and they were just kind of like, we'd rather not, but fine, we'll get this one out to finish it up. But the whole Batmobile felt so forced down my throat.
It did.
And it wasn't even fun to drive most of the time.
No.
Like those stupid Riddler challenges where I had to drive the car and I felt like it would just drive off cliffs and stuff. I'm like, this is so annoying.
I remember you telling me the funniest thing when Riddler pops himself out and goes, I'm going into this room, you have to finish my challenges before I come out. Well, why would I finish your challenges?
Yeah, just stay in there.
I beat you, stay in there, I don't care.
That's how I felt about that game.
I rescued Catwoman, I'm good. I agree with you.
You mean you're going to let me and Catwoman walk out of this building perfectly fine and you're going to stay in that hole forever? Have fun.
Enjoy it.
Hope you have something to do
Edward
down there.
Nigma, you got that. But I was disappointed. As for a developer, I don't know if I would change developer just because they did do an amazing job. Who makes it? Rocksteady?
Rocksteady does.
Rocksteady. What I would have done was combine teams Rocksteady and then the other place that took over for Arkham Origins.
I don't even remember who that
It
was.
was a Canadian team.
Yes.
But I would have combined those teams because there was elements in Arkham Origins I thought were just fantastic, and I feel like it was that team's spin on it, kind of. I love the new detective mode.
Fresh look.
Fresh look, correct. I love the detective mode. I love the redesign of some of the characters, and I would have liked to see that overall.
Especially Killer Croc.
Yeah.
Killer Croc in Origins, in my opinion, looked way better than the Killer Croc that we got in Asylum and City.
I agree.
But I was slightly disappointed with how fast you go through Killer Croc in Origins.
Yeah, you beat him really quickly. I also love the 5 o'clock shadow on Batman and Origins, and this, rough look, and the real. I don't know. To me, it was a solid game. It was
I
great.
really liked it too. Once again, before Arkham Knight came out, that was probably my least favorite of the Batman games. But overall, not a horrible game. So, my pick, I think, is next.
Yeah, because I did the Batman. That's how it goes, buddy. We take turns.
That is definitely true. I'm definitely going to go with Fable 2. And that's because Fable 1 was so amazing to me. I loved Fable 1. In my opinion, that's still the best of the Fable series. I thought 3 was better than 2, but not as good as 1. And I feel like 2 just took... They did the same thing with Rare. It's like they took everything that they thought people loved about it and just threw it away. You had this really cool companion with the dog, but they never really made you feel like the dog was in danger. Like, I never felt like, oh, I had to protect this dog or train this dog. I also didn't like the ending. No matter what the ending of the game, spoiler alert, you beat the final boss with one shot. No matter what. What kind of a boss battle is that? How is that even fun? It's like you don't even realize what you have. And I think the Fable series could have been something amazing, but I think Peter Molyneux has always, even in the first Fable, he said that there was going to be so many things in the game that never were in the game. I think he just always took on more than he could chew. So if I could see someone now do Fable, I really think Rare could make a great Fable. Have you seen their new game of, I think it's Thieves at Sea, or Sea of Thieves, there it is, Sea of Thieves. That's looking really good. And I'm like, ooh, if you could do something like this, but with Fable, I think that would be awesome. Like open world, just like Fable's supposed to be, but give it that nice, clean, animated look. You know what I mean? Kind of like a Wind Waker look to it. Let me explore the seas. Let me just go around and do what I want to do. Make it my Fable. See what I did there?
I see. Yeah, it was rather clever. I can agree. I wasn't that fond of Fable 2. Like Fable 1 though.
Love Fable 1.
So yeah, I can see what you did. Yeah. All right, interesting choice. Rare. Give them a lot of sellouts or shout-outs today, huh? Are you endorsing you, buddy?
No, they're
Nah,
not.
I'm looking to be honest.
Wish they were though.
What do you got underneath that hoodie, huh? A little Rare t-shirt?
No, this is Vegeta.
That is Vegeta. That is Vegeta.
Suicide Squad.
Yes, that's what I have on. Or as you said, oh, so your typical Batman weekend shirt.
Oh my god.
I just want my viewers or listeners, because you guys can't see me now, I don't just wear Batman on the weekends. Sometimes I wear Superman. Sometimes I wear the entire Justice League. It all depends. All right?
All right,
I love my DC shirts. I will admit that.
No one's judging you.
Well, you were apparently.
I was not.
I'm going to go with Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Great game. Solid game. Amazing. Voiceovers are fantastic. Graphics are amazing. Gameplay is fantastic. That ending, it's like taking a crap while you're wearing pants and it's sliding slowly down your leg and then gets stuck in your shoe. That's what that ending felt like. And I also hated Kiefer Sutherland because you paid him all this money and I'm pretty sure he had 6 lines of dialogue.
A lot of it was grunts.
Kept you waiting. Davey Hayter said it better. No offense to Kiefer Sutherland. You know what I mean? Not a bad actor. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Loved you in Lost Boys. Loved you. But, amazing game. Fantastic. I'm going to take you all on a journey, okay? All right, we're at the Shire. We're going to end up in Mordor. I'm going to go back to the Shire. Make it safe, okay? So here's the journey. All right. My wife, for her job, leaves for months to go training. I pick up Metal Gear Solid 5. Sad my wife is gone. Happy I got this game. All right? Playing this game, enjoying it. Loving every minute of it. My wife will call me now and then, check on me. Hey, how's it going? I miss you. I love you. Metal Gear is great. Hand up. Continue playing. Then I finish the game. It's like, oh, what a great ending. Trick, that was just Act 1, sir. That's it. That's fine. There's more to this amazing game. Awesome. Start playing Act 2. Finish that, and then a little person comes out of my PlayStation 4 and he kicks me straight in the shin. And then I say, ouch, and he slaps me. That's how that ending felt. So as a grown man, I called my wife, and I complained for a good 45 minutes about how bad the ending was. She didn't even care. But she pretended to.
I'm sorry.
Because it was so bad. So what developer would I have given it to? I would have fired Eric Kojima. I would have let him finish the game. He should have finished. Because I know that game was not finished. And no amount of what Konami says can tell me it's a finished game. Alright?
I agree.
Right now, in his back pocket, he has the true ending to Metal Gear Solid 5.
Well, we're never going to know.
And he goes, oh, you fired me? Oh, this is really racist, by the way.
Yeah, you definitely turned it
That's
there.
it right there. You go, oh, you know get ending now. Ooh, hello, Sony, and that's it. That's it. Alright.
How cool would it be if in Death Stranding there's like a TV playing in a far background or in a house somewhere that we don't really know about, but if you find the TV, you see the real ending.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Probably something he's gonna do. Just call him out on it. Alright.
You heard it here first.
Yes.
The enthusiasts called it.
To take it back though, still a solid game. Still worth a buy, and I'm still gonna get the complete collection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just because it was a solid game.
Such an amazing game. I definitely understand how it fell short. In my opinion, my favorite Metal Gear is still 3.
You see that?
3 is still the pinnacle of Metal Gear, and then would be 4, and then 2, and then 1.
Let's say 4. Only because I would love to give it 3, but 4 ended like a franchise should end. Then 3, then 1, and then 2. And it's not that I'm disappointed with 2, because 2 was still a solid game.
Were you upset when they did the bait and switch?
Absolutely. All right.
Everyone was.
Come on, man.
It was like when you played Devil May Cry 4 and you thought you were going to be Dante and you're Nero.
Yeah. But no, it was way worse than that, man, because this was pre-internet. This was pre-spoilers. Like, they legitimately put trailers out for this. Because I remember this game got announced before the PS2.
Yeah.
Screenshots of this game came out before the announcement of the PS2. So I'm like, yo, Snake, awesome. And I'll never forget this. I get it for Christmas, and the game got released in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
I get it for Christmas. I'm like, this is gonna be great. And I start this game out, I'm like, yo, this game is great. And then it switches over to Raiden, or whatever you call him. And I'm like, okay, I'm just waiting the whole game for it to switch back to Snake. And it never happens.
No, it doesn't.
And like I said, not a terrible game. Had I been pre-warned, I might have
All
been
the marketing showed Snake.
Oh.
And it's so funny, everything they showed for that game was in the first, 30 minutes? Maybe even less.
30 minutes. Well, I can get through the tanker now in like a good 11 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's because the cutscenes don't register right away when I'm trying to skip them. Because, yeah. But still a great game. Metal Gear Solid 2 is still one of the best games. What Metal Gear has is their luxury of characters. Like, they introduce a character in Metal Gear and you're like, gay vampire who dances on water? What? Oh man, Vamp is awesome. Like, you just...
Well, you know what's really funny? In 2, they introduced Vamp and they introduced Raiden. Both characters I did not like at first.
So rad about them.
And then you get to Metal Gear Solid 4. Both of those characters are so badass. I was like,
And then
I looked forward every time they fought.
absolutely. And then the best part of that is they had this rivalry and this setup between them that almost became Snake and Revolver Ocelot like, and you didn't even realize it until you were like, oh man, Vamp did kill Emma right in front of him. Vamp did do all this stuff. Yeah, why would they have that rivalry? So once again, man, Metal Gear Solid.
So good. Such a good series. And I'm really mad that Konami did what they did to Kojima, because I think 5 would have been so much better. And
What I'm hoping is Konami is release all the Metal Gears. One special edition. I don't care the price. All right.
on the PS4.
On the PS4, just release a huge thing with all of them in it. I'll pick it up. I love every minute of it. But yeah, that was my disappointing disappointment. I'm still a little sad about it. Sorry for the poop analogy, guys. It's the best way I can describe it. Your turn, buddy.
Ooh, I forgot all about this one, and I actually can't believe I forgot for a second. I don't know how I let it slip my mind. Ratchet and Clank, All for One.
Ooh, that was the first one on PS3.
No, that was not the first one. The first one was Tools of Destruction.
Or that was the one where it's 4 players on PS3.
4 players, yes. Which originally was going to be called Ratchet and Clank 4 Play. But apparently they didn't people didn't like that name.
Oh, so Up Your Arsenal is fine.
And Going Commando.
Going Commando is okay. 4 play though, no, that's where I draw the line. What do you think about it? How do you feel about it?
Horrible. I was actually really excited for it at first. I was like, ooh, Ratchet and Clank. I love Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Clank is my shit. And then I was like, I'm going to get to play it with some friends. It's going to be great.
I didn't know you had friends.
Well, I don't have many, but you know, let's not get, that's a topic for another podcast. That could be an episode in and of its own. But, yeah, so I was really excited for it. And the game just fell short the whole time. Like, it wasn't fun. It's like they had no idea what Ratchet and Clank was. There wasn't very interesting weapons. Nothing. And I really was happy because I love Dr. Nefarious. And I was like, I get to play with Dr. Nefarious? This is going to be sick. No, it wasn't. It wasn't sick. It wasn't even fun. You had to stay on the screen together, and I hate when games do that. Lock you in a screen where there's so much happening and all 4 of you have to stay on the screen. It really annoys me.
It really did tone it down to make that game. Right?
Yeah, it was like, it's like they were like, hey, we know Ratchet and Clank has always been that game for kids, but anyone can enjoy it, even adults, because we have that humor in it that you guys will enjoy. It's like they did that, and then they were just kind of like, but we're alright. We're gonna cater just the kids this time. And I'm happy they went back to the classic Ratchet and Clank, because the new one was amazing. But after all for one, I almost lost hope in them. But the new one really brought them back to me. And if I could go back, I would say instead of having Insomniac make All for One, because clearly they didn't know what they were doing with that one, I would probably maybe give it to Naughty Dog. Because I really think I'm currently playing the Jack Daxter collection, but I really think that they understood like weapon mechanics and stuff well enough that they could have taken that game and done something really special with it.
Fair enough. Jack and Dexter are underrated games.
Actually, they were my least favorite on the PS2 when it came to Jack and Daxter, Sly Cooper.
Words are difficult.
And Ratchet and Clank. My favorite was Ratchet, and then Sly, and then Jack was the bottom. But after playing it again this time, I really enjoy it, and I see why people like it. I like the openness of it, where I can choose to do what I want. It reminds me a lot of Mega Man, where I can just do whatever I want, and it's not necessarily what needs to be done right now, but if I'm good enough to get through it, then I can do it.
Sly Cooper's awesome.
Sly Cooper's also another one that's really good, but kind of fell short. Like, we don't see that anymore either.
Mm-hmm. We won't see the movie either. Thanks to nobody going to see Ratchet and Clank, you jerks.
You guys failed us. I'm talking to you, 6 listeners.
Yes.
All 6 of you. I know none of you went, except maybe your wife. She may have went. Did she go?
No, my wife did not go.
6 of you.
No, it was me and my child, my oldest child. We actually enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. You let me borrow it.
Yes, we. Oh, you didn't even go see it, matter of fact.
I did not. I was part of the problem.
You were part of the problem. Yes, I went out opening day. You know who was in the theater?
No one.
Me and my child.
Really? You were the only ones?
I think there was like another couple people. Yeah, the movie theater was empty. They also did a terrible job advertising it.
I agree. I actually thought from the way they were advertising it, I almost didn't think it was going to theaters. I thought it was going to be straight to like Blu-ray, DVD type thing.
So, I was watching a review on it, and one of the reviewers said he thinks it would have done so much better as like a Netflix exclusive.
Ooh.
I was like, I agree with that. That probably would have worked out so much better for it.
Or even how PlayStation right now is getting into like the television stuff. They could have just let it be a PS Plus exclusive, where as long as you had Plus, you could watch the movie for free, or you had to pay for it.
Next on my list is a game that took forever to come out. Woo! Is Duke Nukem Forever. Anybody from the 90s, you know what I mean, that's here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. who's out of bubblegum remembers Duke Nukem.
I was never out of gun.
Alright, fair enough.
I always had
I
gun.
love Duke Nukem.
I
3D, Total Meltdown, Time to Kill, A Land of the Babes. They were all great games. For those who don't know who Duke Nukem is, he's every 90s and 80s action star crammed into one cliche who fights aliens who kidnap babes. Worked for the 90s. Forever came out and made the same as that game in 2000s. Why does that not work? Something called women's rights. Something called respecting women. Something called improved humor or growth in humanity. The same people that played video games then don't play them now. So the game was criticized for being a little sexist and awful. And all around, not a great game. So who would I have made the game? Anybody else that made it? Because I feel like it was hard to mess up. Just make a solid first-person shooter with a couple of cliche lines, and you would have made a great game. And that was much better than Duke Nukem Forever. Guessing you didn't play it by that look on your face.
No, I'm not a Duke Nukem fan. Yeah, I never had any interest in those games. I heard I dodged a bullet with Forever.
Yes.
So that's good.
You can now pick it up at any local GameStop for about $1.
Probably not worth it.
No. The other day, somebody threw it at me. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Just throw it right back.
Yeah, just no, I'm good. You can now find a lot
That's gotta feel like an insult.
What's that?
If someone throws a Duke Nukem Forever at you?
People use them as paperweights, or when you get stuck in the snow.
Posters.
Get stuck in the snow. They use a lot of them for traction, everything like that.
Good.
They actually opened the landfill next to ET and filled that one up with the Duke Nukem Forever. So.
A couple of years from now, we'll be digging that up and doing a documentary on it.
I was super disappointed with it. I 100% agree with what the reviewers were saying, though, is I had definitely grown up from playing the originals. And, I hate to be cheesy like this, but being a father and seeing some of the jokes in the game, not so funny anymore. Like, wow, if anybody said that to my daughter, I'd probably kick them in the throat. That's true. So there's a lot of... It was just not a well polished game. You know what I mean? Not to mention it was almost a remake of 3.
Yeah.
So, that's it for my sad list.
I'm gonna say one more. This is gonna be the last one for me, and that's gonna be Ninja Gaiden 3.
Ooh.
And that series started off great. The first Ninja Gaiden, well, not the first. The first one was way back on the NES.
Yes.
So technically, the one I'm referring to is the one that came out on the original Xbox that they re-released then for the PS3 called Sigma, and then they had
Is Sigma a remake of the first one?
Yes.
Mm.
It is also on the PS Vita.
Ooh.
Yes. Considering getting it. But they had Sigma and Sigma 2. Those were the PS3s. And then they released Ninja Gaiden 3. And in my opinion, fell short every time. And Ninja Gaiden 2 was on the 360. But I feel like from Ninja Gaiden 1 to 2 was okay. 1 was great, 2 was good. It wasn't a bad game, just in my opinion did not live up to 1. I felt it was easier. And part of the thing I loved about the first Ninja Gaiden was the difficulty. You want to master these weapons and get these combos down so that you can really juggle these enemies and not have to worry about them hitting you. You memorize their movements so that you can dodge their attacks all the time. It was really in depth in my opinion. And then number 2 came out and I kind of just felt like it didn't matter. Like I could just do whatever I wanted and just slowly chisel away at them and just win. Whereas 3, you got no other weapons. You only had a katana. The story was god awful. It was just bad. Just an all around bad game. And then I heard that they came out with a better edition called Razor's Edge for the Wii U. Did not play it. But I heard it was better, but still not good.
Yes, the Wii U version was better because I looked up the reviews for that, and that's what all the reviewers said about it. But I can see that. The first one was such a great game, though.
So good. And I don't know how you messed it up after that, but...
They are difficult games, but I can't agree with you that they're super difficult because I get frustrated with super difficult games. Remember that phone call I gave you when I picked up Dark Souls? Why? Why? I'm not playing this crap.
Yes.
It makes me feel bad about myself. I'm not doing that. Or I feel like Ninja Gaiden, frustrating game at times, but it's a learning curve. That's all it is. And once you spend a little time with it, you're gonna.
I agree.
Decent game. Because I remember too. Remember the armadillos, those fiery armadillos?
Yes.
I remember for days cursing at the TV. And then when I finally defeated them, like, this was easy. I did it. So I can see that. What was the one that came out recently? Z? Ninja Gaiden Z?
Oh, yeah.
With the
Ninja
zombies?
Gaiden Yaiba or
Yeah,
something
like
Z. I heard that was bad too.
The reviews were awful.
Yeah, I didn't even bother playing it. I wanted to play it at first because I really liked the art style it took. It was that shell-shaded comic look.
Yes.
And then once I saw the reviews coming out, I was like, ooh, never mind. You can stay on the shelf. I think you can find a copy now for like $4, but still not something I'm looking forward to.
What was that other ninja game, going off topic, that came out for the Xbox 360? It was actually pretty solid. I can't remember the name. Greenish cover?
Tenshu?
No.
Ninja Blade?
Yes.
I never played Ninja Blade.
Yes, that one actually was pretty solid. I liked it.
I think I played a demo of it, and that was about it.
Demos. Are they done? Are demos gone? It's rare that there was like.
I think it's a much more rare thing, but I don't think they're done. I just, like I said earlier, one of the things I played was the Nier demo for the new Nier coming out, which that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I never played Ninja Blade. Good game.
It was a solid game. I wouldn't say great. Solid. There was a time where I was just try anything. Try anything once. You know what I mean? End up in the Philippines, speaking French. Willing to try anything at least once.
Why not, right?
Why not? And sometimes I would come across like I hit that, but like, oh, not bad. You know what I mean? Most of the time it was bad. It was pretty bad. Me and my wife were just discussing today Wolf Creek, that movie that came out in 06. Says how long we've been together. When we went and seen it in theaters. That was 06, it was 05. The movie was awful, but I was willing to give it a chance. We still make fun of it to this day. So, but yeah, I definitely tried it out then.
But you know what? Sometimes you have to take that leap of faith that you don't know something's going to be great and just risk it. Like when the first Kingdom Hearts came out. Obviously, that's such a great game. But when it was coming out, everyone made fun of me because I wanted to play an RPG with Disney characters. People were like, oh, you're a loser. This game's not going to be good.
Yeah, and they were honest and true with you because you are a loser. But
thanks.
Oh, sorry. That's not where you were going with the story.
No, that is not. But
so
thank
sorry.
you.
So sorry.
Thank you. I don't even know if I want to finish the story now.
No, I need to know now.
But anyway,
we'll share Kingdom Hearts stories because
more of the story is I bought the game, and then shortly after I was super happy with my purchase, and other people followed, and they were like, "Oh, Kingdom Hearts is great," and then I gave them that evil look of like, "You just made fun of me for wanting this game 2 months ago."
You were in middle school when it came out?
I was in when the first Kingdom Hearts came out, 6th grade.
Yes, you were, because I think I remember. Because I remember Game Informer.
That's what I used to read every day at school.
I had I saw it. And I was always a Disney nerd, but that's not something you throw around. And I think it was in high school when Kingdom Hearts came out. That or late, pretty sure high school. Either way, I remember it was coming out and I saw it. I was like, ooh, Final Fantasy characters and Disney characters? What is not to like about this? And I started watching trailers for it because on demand at the time you could go on.
Right, they had G4.
There it is.
Another one.
I was watching the trailers for it on G4 and I was just like, this looks so good. And same deal though, I didn't want to tell all my friends and anything like that. So I remember I would do the tests and be like, look at this game coming out. And see if they were like, oh, what is this? And then I'd be like, well, I'm actually excited for it. But I remember I went into GameStop to get the game and I couldn't find it anywhere on the wall. I'm like, where is this game? So I went to the guy behind the counter and I was so embarrassed to ask for it. I was like, you guys have it's a new game that came out. It's got like Final Fantasy characters in it. And he's like, oh, Kingdom Hearts. I was like, whoa, bro. Keep it down. It was actually Software Center, matter of fact. I think at the time.
Yeah, it was not GameStop.
Yeah. And he was like, "Yeah, we got it." And it was such a dark cover. Do you remember?
Yeah, it
The
was
cover's
all
like
black.
Black, yeah.
Even the Disney characters were like covered in black. The only light thing on that cover was the moon that was a heart.
Yep.
But that cover was so nice, and it was metallic.
Yes.
You could like
reflected.
Yep. Oh, so
And
beautiful.
same thing. I played that game. And it was so amazing, and I'll never forget. It was so good. And I ended up in game or software, etc. at the time, and I was doing something. I heard these two grown people talking about it, and I looked at it. They were probably in their 30s, maybe 20s. I don't know how old I was at the time, and they were discussing it. I was like, wow. Those grown men can be losers in public. I should be fine. I'll be good. They were. I'm pretty sure they never touched a woman in their life. Never. Not once.
I hope you know now we're going to get hate comments.
It doesn't matter how old you are. Just because you like video games, you can still touch someone.
But no, I agree with you. And what was that? I love video games to this day. And I think the statistically 48 years old is the majority of video game players right now.
They say 18 to 35 is majority, but obviously people past 35 still play.
Well, I'm thinking video games had a big pop when I was growing up. So I don't feel like I'm ever gonna slow down and stop. I can still get excited for it, and I don't mind. Nowadays I don't care because there was this fluctuation of nerd is cool now. And
it's kind of weird because I've always been a nerd and I was made fun of it for a while, and now people are like, "Oh, you're so cool! You know all this stuff about DC Comics and Marvel, and you know all this video game knowledge."
I don't think anybody's ever described you as cool, sir. Let's be honest, but maybe in your dreams. You know what? You have a girlfriend. There you go, buddy.
That's a win
there
for me.
There you go. There's your win. No, I agree with you. I'll never forget. I was in 5th grade, and I had a Batman Returns book. Because why not? And I'm looking at the book on the bus for 5th grade, and this girl was like, "You must be a 5th grader looking at that book." And I was like, "Bitch." And I feel like nowadays it wouldn't be weird. You know what I mean? Like,
when I was in elementary school, I remember I used to look at Dragon Ball Z like the magazines that you would find.
yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, whatever, man. We're done.
No, go ahead.
No.
I had a Dragon Ball Z magazine too, man.
Well, I used to look at them all the time, and I had a couple friends that liked it too. But most people were kind of like, "Oh, you're a nerd, and you like Dragon Ball Z too much." And I used to wear Dragon Ball Z shirts all the time. And it probably doesn't help that early in the podcast I said I'm wearing a Vegeta shirt. But I swear I don't just wear Dragon Ball Z shirts anymore.
I understand.
Past that part of my life.
It's so funny. You go through your phases. I remember Phantom Menace came out in 1999, and I had to get a T-shirt. I had this purple Phantom Menace T-shirt. You couldn't tell me was the bomb. I was so cool. I look back at pictures wearing that shirt, and I'm like, oh, I cringe. I'm like, what are you thinking?
I have a picture of me wearing a Dragon Ball Z button-up Hawaiian shirt. And man, when I was a kid, I was like, I am the shit because I got this shirt and Goku's on it, and it's a button-up, so I'm important.
Nice.
But now I look at it and I'm just like, why did I do that to
Why?
myself?
Yeah, you really thought. So, but yeah, you're 100% correct. It's a whole, wave is gone where nerd and geek, to the point where people pretend to be geeks and nerds now.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. There are girls out there now that do it to get guys. And I was like, what was this when I was a kid,
It is odd. It is super odd. But video games are coming such a mainstream, and there are a lot of places are starting to finally respect them for what they are, which is a form of art.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
And don't get me wrong, a lot of places always say video games are ruining children's lives. They're making them do violent acts. But they said the same thing about books. That's when there was book burnings. They said the same thing about TV, same thing about movies.
Was there TV burnings?
No TV burnings, but people were protesting it. But it's always going to be that, and video games are just that media right now that people are going to say, "Oh, that's what drove my kid to do this." And instead of taking responsibility and being like, maybe it's because I'm just a bad parent and I didn't see it coming from my kid and I wasn't there to help.
Kid just had mental problems, man.
That too.
It's a big possibility nowadays. No, I agree with you. I grew up on.
And games helped me. I learned to read thanks to games. Like back when I was
You had a crappy school. That's where you learned how to.
Yeah, back when I was playing the Super Nintendo, before I even went to school.
Man up.
Final Fantasy.
HP.
Final Fantasy 3 was the first one.
Choco.
And then some of those I would say wrong, but I really enjoyed it, and like it really helped me read. Same thing with like Mario. You had a couple texts that would come up when you say like the princess and stuff, but it really got me into wanting to read and stuff like that. And then comic books helped me a lot too, to want to read.
Read anything good in comic books?
I just picked up. Well, I didn't pick it up. My girlfriend for Christmas got me the Secret Wars for Marvel. I have not read it, and she got me the Rebirth for Batman.
All right.
That I haven't read yet either. The last thing I read was Old Man Logan, which we talked about last
Yes,
time.
so good.
And I am mostly reading a lot of manga. Like right now, I'm reading My Hero Academia because I'm obsessed with not just the show, but anything that has to do with that.
We haven't talked about that on the podcast yet.
We haven't. I don't know how you feel about. I know you're not a big anime guy,
I'm not.
but I really got you into that.
That is a well done show. That fight between All Might and the
Nobu?
Yes.
Oh my
Wow.
god! I watched that fight. I kid you not. You can ask my girlfriend. Probably 3 times a week. Still to this day.
What's that? Well, you know, I always, and it's not that I hate on it, because I used to be an anime when I was a bit younger. It's just when I grew up, I kind of grew out of it, I guess, a little bit. But I just appreciated that show. Like the humor in it. That's what I don't like about anime. There we go. I always feel like the humor is so un-American. I'm like, I don't get a lot of the humor, and that show legitimately all the humor I laugh at, and I think it's great. All the feels parts I understand, and I feel really bad, and all the action scenes I get right for. So I feel like that show is it's a well fleshed out show. To the
I
point
agree.
where
Well, All Might's supposed to be American.
I am here.
Yeah, All Might is American, and I know it takes place in Japan, but he's from Texas. So it makes
That's where all Americans come from.
no. That's just where all white people are
Well,
made.
yes,
They
that's
have like
right.
a factory in Texas, and we just were manufactured there.
You realize you're not white, sir.
Half of me is.
Oh, this guy creepy.
Half of me says
That
made in
means
Texas.
half of you was like real advanced Egyptian pyramid. The other half of you at one point was still living in a cave, afraid of shadows. Right? Yeah, we just got political up in here.
Yeah, we did. We can go on a history tangent another time.
That's
That would be.
another time.
That's a. I could probably go for 4 episodes.
Yeah. But no, as for back to the anime kick, no, I've really super enjoyed it. Like I said, there's some anime like Digimon. Is that considered anime?
I actually, yeah, anime. Digimon is anime.
I love Digimon. From season 1 to what was the season 3 was with the younger kids, and some of the younger kids joined the new team.
Was that the one where they had the eggs? No, that was season 2.
That was season because there was 2 seasons.
That's right. 2 seasons of the first
with
Digidestined.
Ty and all them.
Yes.
And then the third, no, there's 2 seasons of those new kids too.
Yes.
I think yes. But I enjoyed all the up into that until they went to like it was all a TV show and then new kids. But I loved all that. That's Digimon. And remember that opening? Yeah, like
Digimon.
I used to get so into it. Like,
Yeah.
man, this is so good. I remember seeing that movie in theaters by myself.
Such a great movie. And actually,
It is such a good movie. Like impossible to find now too.
the guy who did that movie does a bunch of others. He did The Boy and the Beast, The Girl That Leapt Through Time, and Summer Wars. If you ever want to see those, I have those. You should definitely watch them. Yeah, you want to see them. Don't shake your head no. But we should maybe do anime nights. We can talk about anime on here. We'd probably lose even more people. We only have 6 right now. I know
I don't
one.
know, I feel like a lot of people like anime though.
Well, I know one Asian listens to us, so we'd at least keep one guy.
Oh, that's racist. I'm super racist today. This is so awkward.
I think we can end the show there.
No.
No?
No.
Not on a racist note?
I mean, maybe. Got it.
Does that make us bad?
So I guess.
Do we lose people?
That was a good talk, man. Good talk.
Definitely. Thank you, Mike, for giving us that topic of the day. If you want to be a part of the show, reach out to us. You can either comment in subjects below on YouTube or in our Facebook group, or you can reach out to us by our email, which is enthusiast0 I know, I'm ruining it. I am horrible today. I'm like you last week.
Yeah, I was drunk.
Oh, that was a burn though.
Yeah, I was drunk. It happens.
I'm tired.
Yeah,
Obviously.
man. No, it's cool. You had to
But-
work all day, handing CDs out.
Wow.
Real tough, buddy.
Wow. What a
Real
jerk.
tough. You know, I legit help people for a living.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do you do it on
I
Sundays?
change lives. Right.
Thank you for joining us on episode 6 of
On the day of the
Enthusiast.
Sabbath, you handed a few video games out, buddy. Real tough for you.
Be sure to hit that like button if you like it. If you do not, give us that dislike. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe on YouTube. We are on SoundCloud. We have a Facebook group, and we are also on Twitter. We are still working on a web page that should hopefully be up soon, and you'll be seeing us blog daily about what we're currently up to, games, comics, and maybe new news that's coming out. We can't quite get to an episode to talk about just yet. But feel free to just reach out to us. This is Will Zabo,
Justin Nazario.
and we are out.